Hey guys, how's it going? So unfortunately my exchange has now come to an end, pretty much. Only have like a few days left and then I have to go back home to Canada. Oh, it's so sad. This whole year has been such an unforgettable experience. So many good things have happened. I feel like I really have changed as a person. Going abroad really does change you. So this exchange has been so great. There have been so many great moments, but there are also a few moments that weren't so good as well. So today I thought I would talk about some of the highlights of my exchange and also some of the bad parts of it. To start off with the highlights. Oh man, there's just so many. I won't even be able to list them all. There's just so many in my head and okay, I have to try to remember now. Well, definitely one of the biggest highlights was just coming to Japan in general. Okay, so this has been my dream for many, many years. And I honestly, when I was applying to go study abroad, it was going to be Japan or nothing at all. So honestly, I am so thankful to have come here and lived my dream. Yeah. I've had so many amazing moments during my exchange, but if I had to list some of my favorites, definitely renting the kimono in Kyoto. That was such a fun day. I really loved that. I mean, it's such a cliche to do, but at the same time, it makes you feel so special and so beautiful, and I just had so much fun with it. And especially because Kyoto is just a beautiful city, and getting to explore it in a kimono just made it that much more special.
Keep walking.
Oh, that's it. So this memory isn't necessarily my favorite memory, but it's definitely one of the highlights of my exchange. So going to the movies with my friends and seeing Kimi no Nawa, that is definitely an unforgettable memory. That movie was really, really iconic of this year for sure. It was probably the most popular movie in Japan. Let's just say the soundtrack was like the soundtrack of my exchange, let's just say. All those songs are just so good and all of my friends love them. It was the movie of the year for sure. And even though it was all in Japanese and there were no subtitles at the time, I think it was still easy to understand. And the graphics were beautiful, like the animation was amazing. So, and of course, the story is so touching. Yeah, it's just one of those feel-good movies. So another one of my favorite memories would be going to any dance class in Tokyo. So I usually went to N Studio and I went to about 3 classes, I think. And then I also went to a dance workshop. It was actually Leah Kim's dance workshop, if you've ever heard of her. So that was really cool. It made me realize that I'm so rusty at choreography, or learning choreography again, so I really want to get back into that. But after this year, I mean, I'm way more encouraged and way more determined to do this kind of stuff. Just want to try new things and improve myself. Some of my other favorite memories would be any time that I was performing with my friends. So I did the SMC gig, which is the Sales Music Club gig, with my circle, of course. And then anything with my Waseda International Festival circle as well. That was amazing. But I'll talk about that in a second. I also did a performance for my old residence in Hoshien. So I performed in a band again, just like some Beatles songs with my friends. And then I also danced with my friends as well. So that's definitely one of the highlights. Yeah, that was for our Christmas party. And it was in a big church just next to the dorm. So yeah, that was definitely an unforgettable memory. I guess nobody ever really Some of my other memories that I have include like going to Odaiba and going to Yokohama. Those places were really amazing and I had such a great time there. They're really beautiful, so I really recommend going there for sure. Oh, that's so cool. Konbanwa.
こんばんは。元気ですか?
Genki desu.
綺麗.
Kirei! So now I'll talk about more specific moments during the exchange. First, I'll talk about one of the scariest moments that happened during my exchange. So back in October, I went to one of my circle's drinking parties, or nomikai as they're called. And it was a Halloween party. So my friends and I, we all got dressed up and we headed to this place in Takeda no Baba for the drinking party. And it started off great. And then let's just say that I ended up in the hospital after that. So fun fact about me, I'm actually allergic to alcohol. So, and I knew this from before, so I never drink. I definitely never drink. But that night, I accidentally drank something that had some alcohol in it, and I had only this much. And then I got the worst reaction from it. I basically just couldn't breathe very well and I started like shivering and eventually like I remember my like hand froze and I couldn't move it and I was so freaked out, and then at some point apparently I passed out, but I remember still being conscious but just not being able to wake up. So that was really scary. So they had to call the ambulance and then they took me to the hospital. But then afterwards I was fine. I kind of just got over it myself. I just remember waking up in the ambulance and then I was like, oh, what just happened? But yeah, that was really scary and probably really scary for everyone who was there. So I'm so sorry, everyone. But thanks for taking care of me. Fun part was that I got to ride in an ambulance in Tokyo. So can't say that every day, right? So now for the most annoying or frustrating moment during my exchange would be any time I went to Shinjuku Station. So Shinjuku Station is huge and basically everyone gets lost there, especially myself. I mean, there's just so many lines and there's like the JR line, there's just all the other ones and there's just so many little tunnel things and I just get lost constantly. I remember once I was with my friend and we kept going in circles trying to find our line and we couldn't find it. It took us like, I want to say an hour to figure out where we were going. So yeah, so good luck if you're ever in that station. So one of the most embarrassing moments that happened to me during my exchange was that time I went to Akihabara with my friends. So another funny story. So yes, I went to Akihabara with my friends and we ended up going into a sex store. But we just wanted to check it out just for fun. I mean, it's Akihabara. Why not, right? So yes, we were inside and then my backpack knocked over a huge display of lube. Yeah, so it all came crashing to the floor and one of the bottles broke. So I ended up having to pay for it. And it was so embarrassing. Oh, it was the worst moment because first of all, it's just, I felt like I was being a really rude tourist. And like, I didn't really want the lube. I didn't even get to keep it in the end, but I didn't want it to begin with. But it was just so embarrassing having to deal with that and then looking like an idiot. So yeah, that's my funny story. Moments that I didn't really enjoy during my exchange would be any time that I got sick. So there was one time that I came back from karaoke the night before and we had been in like a really smoky room, so it wasn't a non-smoking room. And I remember waking up the next morning with a horrendous cough. And for that entire week afterwards, I could not sleep because I was just coughing so much and I felt like I couldn't breathe and I just felt so sick. This was back in September too. I think you remember when I had a really bad cough, but yeah, it really affected my throat for so long and I didn't feel like I could speak normally for a very long time. So that wasn't really fun. But I don't blame it on the exchange. I just blame it on me. I guess I'm prone to getting sick sometimes. Another funny story from my exchange would be when I sneezed and then injured my back from doing it. It was so weird. This was just a couple of weeks ago. This just happened pretty much right before my performance for WIF. So I was really freaking out because I thought I wouldn't be able to dance. Yeah, I could barely sit down. I couldn't bend over. It was really, really scary. But yep, I mean, I'm okay now. I got over it in like 2 days, so thankfully it healed itself really quickly. But it's just so funny to think that it all happened because of a sneeze. Yeah. So clearly I don't have many bad moments during my exchange. I definitely couldn't think of anything that was really, really horrendous. So, I think I just had so many happy moments. If I had to think of the craziest thing that I did in Tokyo, or in Japan in general, there weren't many. I mean, to some people, what I did was crazy, and to others, it's just completely normal. Like going out until 6 a.m. to like a club in Roppongi. That could be kind of crazy to some people, but for others, it's just, oh, a typical Friday night. But yeah, that's definitely a cool memory to have. Yeah, the train stopped running at like midnight. So then you're kind of stuck wherever you are until 5 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, whenever my friends and I went clubbing, we would go pretty much all night, or we'd have to get a taxi home. So the first time I ever went clubbing was in Roppongi with my friends. And basically, we were out all night. We didn't get home until like 7 in the morning. I remember that. It was dark when we entered the subway, and then when we exited, it was like a brand new day. It was so sunny. It was like, I can't even explain it, but it was just so weird. And I remember not being able to sleep at all after that. So I basically was just up for 24 hours straight. Yep. But that was a really fun night. I mean, another crazy thing that I did that's not really that crazy, but to some people it is doing karaoke for 10 hours straight. So from 9 o'clock at night to 7 in the morning. So basically pulled another all-nighter there. But that was definitely so much fun, and we could have gone all night. I did this with my dance circle, and honestly, we could have done a 24-hour session. We were just having so much fun. There was just so many songs we could have sang too. Karaoke is definitely a highlight of my exchange. Before coming to Japan, I'd never sung in front of anyone, ever. So then when I did karaoke for the first time, I realized that, oh, it's not so scary after all. It's quite fun. And everyone, I mean, no one judges you, so it's just, it's just plain old fun. So far away from you, I'm getting there, I don't care where I want to If I had to think about the weirdest places that I went to in Tokyo, definitely the Alcatraz Cafe in Shibuya was a weird place. I just want to say, just go check it out and see for yourselves, but be prepared for a really, really unforgettable experience.
Sorry? Like, what was jail cell? I've only had one drink here, so I don't know. I just had the spoon juice. No, I had
The place where I have the most fun is definitely Akihabara. I mean, I love the arcade so much. I love claw machines. I got so many items from them, just like, yes. This one I didn't win, but he's still from a claw machine. um, but yes, I mean, there's just so many fun things to do in Akihabara, so many fun things to see. I did a vlog about it back in September, so go check it out if you haven't seen it yet, but then you get to see how awesome of a place it is.
Oh my goodness. It is getting
cold. A moment that I will remember forever. Probably maybe the news concert that I went to. Like I said before, I had I had been dreaming about it for so long, since I was 15. And honestly, the reason I wanted to come to Japan since I was 15 was because of them. So, just thinking back on all that and then realizing that I came to Japan, I did the exchange, and I went to a news concert. It's pretty unforgettable. It's pretty amazing. Sorry, I have no words once again. But I'm just so thankful, and yeah, all because of news. And finally, the most rewarding experience that I had here in Japan was definitely teaching dance hall and performing in WIF. That's definitely the most fulfilling experience that I had. I mean, at first I didn't know if I could become leader of the Jamaican dance team, so I mean, there wasn't one to begin with, so I just kind of created it myself, and then I wasn't sure if anyone would join, if anyone would be interested. So it was such an honor when I had so many people want to join. And we had so much fun, and we became such a close family, and uh, it just made me so happy. So, and then performing with everyone at the June performance, definitely one of the best moments from my exchange. Probably the best moment in my life. So, one of them at least. So yes, I will definitely remember that moment forever. So yeah, those are some of the highlights from my exchange. I hope you enjoyed my funny stories as well. I have so many other stories, but I just can't think of them all at this moment. But for now, these are the ones that stick out the most. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it gives you a taste of what my exchange is like. And I hope if any of you guys are going abroad, this gives you just like more excitement and more hope of enjoying it. So I think you will all enjoy going abroad for sure. I always recommend it. I would always recommend it to anyone. So it's definitely the best thing you could do in your university life. So I highly recommend it. Please go abroad. All right. Well, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.